All right, everyone. So, welcome to Social Media Bootcamp Part 2. Today we'll be talking about Twitter. We're going to start from the ground up, just like we did with Facebook. We're going to talk a little bit more on some topics that relate specifically to how Twitter is used as opposed to Facebook, like hashtags, creating links again, how to format a post correctly. And then we're going to go into like some extra tools that not a lot of people know about, how to automate certain things and kind of just make it so you don't have to be on Twitter all day, every day, because the whole idea behind Twitter is it's basically like the most hands-on social media platform there is. So compared to all the other social media sites like Pinterest and YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, this is going to be like the most hands-on. What I mean by that is the most posts, or what we call them here, tweets, as well as just the interaction that you have to do with other people, because they're posting it / tweeting just as much as you are. So, right, we are going to, right now we're in REMAX's Twitter, and let's talk a little bit just about the navigation of Twitter. And okay, so up here we have the home button, which takes you, just like on Facebook when you're at home, to your basically your news feed, quote unquote news feed. So what we have here is all the people that I'm following. This is everything that they're posting. That's what a news feed is. Second tab over right here, we have notifications. If you click notifications, you'll see all the activity that's been happening to us. And it goes in obviously most recent April 12th through, later months and dates. So we have this little blue guy. It just means that that's like a person, right? So 6 people have followed us here. This AOS dates, and as well as 5 others followed us. This little refresh kind of looking button is a retweet. So we have someone, Lena, she retweeted a thing that we were mentioned in. And then if you keep going down, we have stars, which is a favorite. So this person favorited a tweet that we tweeted. So now our next tab over, we have messages, and it brings up if anyone has like directly messaged me, but I always clear these out after I read them. So that's why this is empty currently. And then we have discover. So if we go over to here, obviously this is a hashtag. I'm sure we're all somewhat familiar with these at this point, because we're seeing them on television shows at the bottom of the screen or on our news channels. We're seeing them underneath people's names or underneath news stories. And we're also seeing them on like sports channels and things like that. So, okay, let's go back over to the home screen here, and let's click on our profile. If we click on your profile right here, it takes you over to what what other people see when they end up on your Twitter. So we have a banner in the background here, your icon or your avatar, we can call it, how many tweets you've tweeted, how many people we are following, how many people are following us, and how many favorites right here. So then we have a little blurb about ourselves, and then a little section with all the photos that we've ever posted and suggestions on who to follow. And these are hashtags that are currently, we can call it quote unquote trending, or that are popular currently. So if we go to edit profile, we can change the header photo just by clicking here, changing the avatar by clicking here, changing our title here, changing our information here, location. We can also add a website as well, and hit save changes, and that saves everything on here. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just start from new, as if we'd never had a Twitter before. So if we go to Twitter, it takes us to here. This background is always changing, so if you end up on a screen that looks slightly different, that's okay. And then you're going to go to sign up for Twitter. So let's create a fake person, John, I don't know. Let's just go with Williams. Password, come up with a password. Not for Twitter. So we need an email here. So we're going to do, what do I do for an email? We'll use my one that we're using for this. already registered. Okay, I'll just do another one then. Just throw down a fake one. On. Okay, we have this username. So username, let's talk a little bit about usernames. What we want to do here is we want to not do any periods or dashes. We want to stick strictly to, as best we can, and no numbers if we can really get away with no numbers as well. We want first name, last name, if we can get it, right? But we're not going to be able to get that. So another option is we use an underscore, but that's going to be taken as well. So if you want, what I would even do, because a lot of you are probably going to think, oh, let me do underscore again and then do realty, right? But we don't want to do that. I would rather it be no underscores, all one word. So John W. Realty, right? So that's going to work for us. Or realtor. We'll do realty. Tailor Twitter based on my recent websites visits. No, we're going to skip that one. Hit next. Or else it would just be a bunch of social media stuff. Phone number. We can skip phone number. And then, okay, so Twitter is saying thanks for coming, and then we can talk about what stuff we're interested in. And you know what? This, let's say that we're tailoring this towards business, right? It doesn't matter. We can we still want to like only have one Twitter profile. You shouldn't have like a personal one and a business one, because it takes so much time to utilize Twitter that you're probably going to end up, you don't want to have to be switching back and forth between accounts. Although you can do that on the Twitter app on an iPhone or on an Android. It's really easy to switch between accounts. You just literally add in 2 different accounts and you can like tap between both of them. So let's talk about some stuff that we are interested in. Well, let's do health, news, entertainment, and popular accounts is fine. So we'll hit next. So we've got some suggestions here, and it's going to say, why don't we just go ahead and follow all Neil Patrick Harris, ESPN, and LA Weekly. We're on our way. So we're going to follow 40 and continue. Why not? And then right here, we would hit upload photo. You would grab a photo from, let's just go upload photo, and let's go Buena, and we'll just do like hiking, and we'll do that, and we'll hit apply. And then we'll do continue. Skip this step. Okay, so now we've got that. And now we have a profile with a news feed and with people to follow suggested over here, and our tabs up top that we talked about earlier. And if you click here, it'll go to your profile. If you click here, it'll go to your profile, same thing. So let's go ahead and click here. And we want it like a background image, right? So we're going to hit edit profile. We hit add header photo, and we would do the same thing that we did with change your profile photo. So if you're curious, like why your background is ending up so blurry, because that'll happen a lot. You'll upload a picture to the back and it's a different resolution from this one. You end up with a super blurry background. So here you go, Twitter banner size 2015, Google that. Header dimensions 2015 update. You scroll down, it tells you how long recommended dimensions are, 1500 pixels by 500 pixels. So we want to, first you want obviously a picture that's super long like this, really wide. And what we want to do is, if we don't have one that's really wide, if you can get someone to cut, like maybe crop a piece of the picture. So if it's really tall, you just crop like part of it like that. So it's generally the same shape as this, and then you can extend it. Because if we put in a picture that's a square and then we try to stretch it sideways, we're going to have issues there. So 1500 by 500 or 1500 by 421. If you're close enough to either of these, it's fine. It'll work out. Okay. So let's go back to Twitter. That's your header photo. And then, okay. So now we have our profile set up. Let's talk a little bit about hashtags. well, in a few classes, we're going to talk about what a hashtag is, just because they're utilized slightly different on each social platform. But if we go to, let's say, let's come up with something that, let's see, like if we go to hbo.com, let's see, are there any hashtags that we see on this page right off the bat? Let's say we go to Game of Thrones. And we're not seeing any hashtags on here right now, but watch this. If we go to like hashtag Game of Thrones right here, right? Let's say we just use that as a hashtag. Well, when people are, the reason that like when you're watching a TV show at the bottom of the screen in like the corner, it'll say like a hashtag, and then normally it'll either be like the title of the show or it'll be the title of the episode. And that's because a conversation about the show is happening while the show is on TV or live. So if we go up here to search Twitter and we enter Game of Thrones and we click it, we have the top hashtags, we've got live hashtags, we've got accounts related to that hashtag, photos related to that hashtag, and videos. That's anyone who's posted a video with this hashtag, a photo with this hashtag in the comment with it. Let's see, if we go to live, this is kind of like the idea behind the whole hashtag on a TV show. You will see people talking about Game of Thrones. I watched Game of Thrones premiere last night, blah, blah, blah. And before we get into anything too graphic, because that's kind of the subject matter with this show, we're going to go ahead and leave this. But that's the idea behind that. So if there's also like, let's say an NBA game going on, maybe there'll be a hashtag in the bottom corner about that. You would search, you know, like hashtag Lakers versus whatever, whoever they're playing, and that would maybe come up. But if we, let's just say we do Lakers, enter. This is anyone, these are top tweets about Lakers. And then we have live tweets about Lakers. So this is the last time that someone tweeted about Lakers, 51 seconds ago, 57 seconds ago, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, etc. So that's kind of how hashtag works. So why don't we relate this back to Santa Clarita a little bit, since that's what we're going to be utilizing it for. If we go to hashtag SCV and hit enter, you're going to see, oh, look, Helen has a little tweet on there. We got Connor. We have the Valencia Wine Company. We've got Augusta talking about things on here. And then we've got a bunch of other people talking about SCV. So that just is going to go on and on and on date-wise. If we go to live, same idea. It's going to be whoever has posted last. So let's talk about another hashtag. Hashtag SCV Life is one. This is one that the Signal started that's kind of become somewhat popular. We're getting a lot of posts on. And then we have, let's see, hashtag Santa Clarita. But the two best bets are really going to be Santa Clarita and SCV. So we do hashtag Santa Clarita. We pull up quite a bit here. Live, if we go live, 16 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago. So we've got a fairly active hashtag if we're using Santa Clarita. I would say on most of your posts, you should be using this if it's business related. If it's Game of Thrones related, you don't need to put hashtag Santa Clarita. So let's go back to, let's see, I think that we've generally covered Santa Clarita pretty well. So have you ever wondered what an at someone is? Like if you're on ESPN and there's like an analyst, let's just say we go to we've got ESPN analysts on Twitter right here, right? So if you're ever watching ESPN and you see, you know, at Jay Bilas or any of these other guys down here or women, you're going to see it at their name. That's because that's how Twitter does usernames. So it doesn't mean anything except for that's just every username starts with the at sign. So technically, if we remove the at sign, it just said his name, it could work the same way, but that's not the way that Twitter set up everything. So always an at sign at the beginning of every name. Let's go back to the home. you'll see my main, you'll see like my actual name here, right? My actual fake name here. And then you'll see an at sign, and then the username that we decided to come up with. So that is what the at sign is. So if I want to search for at REMAX SCV, bam, pops up right away. If I want to search for at, let's say, Helen, since we saw her earlier, let's see what, there she goes, bam, at Helen LaPrairie. If we want to do at anything else, let's say SC, what about if we just do at SCV, we start coming up with people that we should be following, absolutely, because we can repost and retweet and favorite some of their content, which is what we're going to talk about right now. So let's say I want to be involved in the community more often, and I want to post not only stuff that I'm going to be obviously posting on Facebook. Every time I'm posting on Facebook, you can post it to Twitter, no problem, because Twitter allows you to post so much more often than Facebook. Please feel free to always post to Twitter whenever you're posting to Facebook. So let's say we're posting about home design, landscaping, 10 steps to, setting up your house before it's being sold, or staging tips, or, how to get better curbside appeal, or how to spruce up your front lawn for open house. I don't know, for, when people, for curb appeal. Let's just go back to that. What we're going to do is also post stories about the city. That's going to be another thing to kind of get, some community awareness. And so obviously we have a few main ones. We have SCV Signal. I think we have Hometown Station is one. Hometown Station. I want to say that's one. It's Hometown Station. But we'll find them. They definitely have a website and they have a Twitter. We just got to find it. But we've got at SCV. We've got the Beacon. We've got the Signal, which I believe we did. SCV Signal. So this is obviously a huge one for us. And we can also do like LA Times or something like that if you're, or other areas if you're doing business in other areas. So here we have them, and we're going to go ahead and click follow over here. This is how we add more people to our home newsfeed. So we click follow, and that means we started following them, and then they give us suggestions on who else to follow. So Visit Santa Clarita, sure, why not? SCV TV, sure, why not? I'll follow them too. Okay, so let's see. I just wanted to double check on the room real quick and see how things are going. Screen sharing with 9 viewers. Okay, good. So let's go back to Twitter. We just talked about following. Why not follow the sheriff too? Who knows? Maybe he's got some interesting stuff to show us, or they have some interesting stuff to show us. Now let's talk about how to engage with the community on Twitter. We have buttons here. These are tweets. These are all the SCV Signal tweets. Cowboy Festival rides into at Santa Clarita. So Santa Clarita has its own user, which we'll go ahead and copy that and save that for later next week. And look, they're shortening links, which we talked about in our Facebook class. So back to bit.ly, that's bit.ly.com to shorten links. So a big reason why links were shortened in the first place, obviously we wanted cleaner posts, but also Twitter only allows us to post so many characters, and a character is obviously how many letters, symbols, numbers that you're putting into a post or a comment, or in your blurb, right? So it's only a certain amount of characters. So the shorter that we can make the links, the better. So the way that we engage with people on Twitter, we can retweet, we can reply to this, which means we would actually say their name first, because what this does, if we write their name first, it lets them know someone talked about them. It'll show up in their notifications. It'll say, hey, John W. Realty or REMAX SCV or whoever we're logged in as, hey, this person replied to a tweet that you wrote. So that's what you do. So why don't we just go ahead and say something anyways. 2 SCV water retailers offer consumers a special profile detailing water usage. Okay, well, we'll just say awesome. And then we hit tweet, and one of my tweets will appear. Okay, so it appears on my page, but it shows, so check it out. Go back to my profile. My first tweet. Okay, cool. Tweets and replies. At SCV Signal. Awesome. But they're going to see that I wrote this. So that's a reply right there. So let's go back to their page. A retweet. What is a retweet? Retweet us. Everyone always wants their stuff to get retweeted because it gets you more exposure. It gets them more exposure. Or if someone's retweeting you, it gets you more exposure. So a retweet just means that they've tweeted this, we are going to retweet it. It just means that we're going to copy what they wrote and then send it out to our followers. So I'm going to hit retweet. Okay. Go back to my profile. And now, look, John, who's our person, John retweeted at SCV Signal. And then it just shows, that. And then other people, when they hit retweet, it will retweet the signal, not us. And then let's go back to their profile one more time. And we do favorites right here. Is all that means is you favorite this, and it'll just show other people that, hey, like John liked this, maybe you should like it too. So if I see like posts with multiple favorites, I'm more likely to stop and read this, because a lot of people on Twitter, what they're looking for is how many favorites a post got, and let's see how many retweets a post got, right? So retweet, 2 favorites, 1 retweet, 2 favorites. And then over here we can copy a link to this tweet. We can mute this so we don't see tweets from them anymore, block them, or report this tweet if I'm not excited about what they're writing. But we're gonna shy away from most of that stuff. If you're just not if you're not liking what someone's writing, you just hit unfollow over here. Go back to the follow button, hit unfollow. So let's see, what else can we talk about on the Signals profile that might be helpful to us? We have links on here, which you guys can do on your profiles, facebook.com, Instagram, and YouTube. That's linking out. So if I go back to my profile and I hit over here, edit profile, websites, this is where we're going to add those. You just add the links to them into that section. And then okay. We can also look at all the photos that they've ever posted within a tweet. So if you just want to see, if you're more into pictures, you can check this out. Or if you just want some more content for your stuff, let's say you want to post let's say you want to post something on Facebook from their site or from their Twitter. Well, on both Mac and Windows, there is a screenshot app. You can Google that. And what you would do is you would open the screenshot app. You can screenshot this picture, and then you can copy the main part of what they say and this. And then if you want to give them credit, put via, VIA, and then via at Santa Clarita. So let's say I just want to like copy someone's tweet, just for example. The city hosted. So I'm going to select this whole section, hit copy. Let's open a new tab, a new Twitter tab. And then we're going to go to here, hit post. And then I want to go via at SCV Signal. Bam. And then I'm just going to tweet that out. Right. But if I want to do a picture with that, I'm going to take this whole thing again, copy it, paste it into here. I'm going to go back to their profile. I'm going to open this picture up a little bit bigger, right click, save as. Sure, why not? Save as that picture. And then we want to go back into the post we're writing, hit add photo. And then we would just add the photo that we just downloaded, or whatever photo we want to put in there, right? So And then it's in here attached and everything on here. But what just happened is when you add a picture, it takes some of the characters away that you're allowed to use. So if you're seeing red here, that means that you've written too much. So why don't we shorten this up a little bit? The city hosted Revved Up in Newhall. Why don't we just take off Thursday night? Featuring off-road vehicles, blah, blah, blah. And then we're out of the red zone here and everything's working good. And then we hit tweet. But luckily, we're not posting this because that would make no sense if we had that picture. Okay, so let's talk about maybe cheating a little bit on Twitter here. What are some secrets? Well, here's one, Twitter feed, which we're going to talk about right now. And then this is kind of going to be our main tool for Twitter. Twitter feed. This is the big secret. RSS feeds. And here's how we're going to use it. We're just going to log into my email. You know what? Just create a new one. Why don't we just create a new one? Sign in with at gmail.com. Oh, I don't have an account yet. So sign up form. Why don't we do what we're using? REMAX of Santa Clarita at gmail.com. So type the text. That's this little thing on the door here. 3709. Create account. Thanks for signing up. Confirm your email address and get started with this. So I'm going to go back to my thing. Refresh. Twitter feed. Confirm your email address. Confirmed. Okay, we're in. So here's Twitter feed. What does Twitter feed do? What it does is it takes RSS feeds or news feeds from popular websites or blogs, etc., and it will automatically tweet news stories for you. So let's say I want to go to Zillow blog because they have a cool blog. And I want an RSS feed from them. So they're not going to, usually you'd see a little orange square and it has like 3 lines on it right here. If they're going to offer us an RSS feed, but it looks like they're not just going to like give it to us. So well, let's just double check. If I go in tips and advice, is there an option in here? Subscribe. No, it's not what we want. Nope. Okay, cool. So Zillow blog RSS. Media room. Here we go. Press releases, business release, home and market rental research, mortgage news, products and services, digs in the news. Okay, so these are RSS feeds. This is what an RSS feed logo looks like. We want to grab one of these and we're going to put it in there. Don't worry, we're going to do this a few times so you'll know. What we want to do, number one, is grab this link. This is what we're looking for. We don't want any of this. This is just code. So let's grab this link, go back to Twitter feed, close this window, our other one, and we're going to call it Zillow feed. Post that into there. Test the feed. Feed parsed okay, so that means the feed worked. Is working. So we will get news from this link. That's the idea, right? So update frequency. My suggestion is you get a few RSS feeds as opposed to one in which you post every 30 minutes from. I would take a few and from each of those post like every 6 hours. Or even if you don't want to post like that much, you can do like 12 hours, right? But let's just say every 6 hours, and I want to post only one thing at a time. And we want to do the title only, but you can also do like title and description or description only. But I like just the title. Keeps the copy short so we don't run out of characters. And then we're going to scroll down and obviously look at this shortened link through Bitly. So we've got that again. Bitly popping up everywhere. So post a prefix. This means like what we want to have written before the tweet. And post suffix is what we want to have written after the tweet. Hashtags we're trying to do after the tweet. So what is our big one, right? We have Santa Clarita, and we have SUV, right? Those are our two that we want to use. And then we want to continue to step 2. And see what pulls up here. This website is quite slow, but it's a very useful tool, so we're willing to put up with it, and it will eventually load up here. While it's doing that, why don't we look up some other RSS feeds that we can use? Let's try HGTV RSS. RSS feeds, design happens, HGTV, blog, HGTV RSS feeds. No. Some of them are easier than others. What about Sunset? RSS feeds. Sunset.com, content feeds. So Sunset, which is a cool one, gives us a few different things. We have different content. So if we want to only post home news to our Twitter, we're going to go to this guy. If we want to do garden, travel, food, wine, etc., right? So I think we're going to do home. We're going to go ahead and click on this link, and it brings us to a link here. We're going to not worry about this. Go to here, copy that, go back to here. All right, so hold on. We have our next feed, but let's go back to what we were doing. Available services. So yes, you can post automatically to Facebook from here if you want to, or LinkedIn, or a LinkedIn company page. But we're going to be talking about scheduling on these other social platforms at a later date. I don't think that this is the best way to do that. So we're going to do just Twitter. And we're going to, we have Twitter accounts here. What you would do is we're logged into this Twitter that we've created, right? So be sure that you're logged into your account, hit authenticate Twitter, authorize app, redirecting you back to application. I just go ahead and remove this stuff, clear that all out. I'm going to post, choose existing Twitter account. We're good to go. Create service. Again, taking a minute. So why don't we look up another RSS feed just so that we are a little more clear on how to do this. We can do realtor. Why don't we just search home news? LA Times, BBC, Pinch Post. No, let's do. Let's do interior design blog. That works. House Beautiful is cool. There's a bunch here. You know what's yeah. We can try House Beautiful if we want. So now let's just go ahead. We know that House Beautiful is a news source for home stuff. So let's go back to Google and just search House Beautiful RSS feed. So we're not finding one here. So list of the top 25 interior design. So here we go. Bang. This is a bunch of interior design websites. Remodelista is a solid choice. So if you go to RSS here, click RSS. Cancel that. Copy this link. Copy link address. Open link address. This is it right here. This is our feed again. So there, now we've found 3 different RSS feeds. One for Sunset, one for Remodelista, and the one that we've currently set up that we're having technical difficulties with. But hold on. Okay, cool. So congratulations, you successfully configured a feed. We're going to call it the Zillow feed. It's going to bring us in the news posts, and it's going to post every 6 hours to my Twitter. There we go. Now we're automatically tweeting. Now how much time did we just save? We don't have to go on. Let's say that we set all three of these up. A feed from Sunset, a feed from here, and a feed from Zillow. That is posting twice a day. So that's 6 times. Let's say we really wanted to utilize Twitter. Now we don't have to go out and find 6 news sources every day and post 6 times a day. I mean, that would just be ridiculous. You probably have to be a social media manager or something like that, right? So welcome to my world. But this is our shortcut. We're going to find 3 very respected and trusted news sources. Nothing that's kind of like questionable. We want nothing questionable. We want everything like something that's been around a long, long time. Everyone knows what Sunset Magazine is. Remodelista, and obviously everyone knows what Zillow is. So we know that Zillow is not going to post anything to their blog that is like going to make them look bad. And we also know that Sunset doesn't post content like that. That's just not what they do. So we can trust their feed as well. Obviously, they're going to be posting stuff about. Look at their homepage. 10 smart ideas from a small loft. Creative home offices. How to decorate with secondhand finds. 20 ways to decorate with green. 8 low water bathroom fixtures. Top 7. Well, maybe we're not doing that, but 20 design tips for small bedrooms. So there you go. That's the kind of stuff that's going to end up on your Twitter now. Eventually, this tweet number is going to get very high, and people are going to automatically start following you because you're going to be posting content, and you're going to be hashtagging Santa Clarita. So every time that one of your posts from Twitter feed goes to your Twitter, it's also going to be posting at the tail end of it, hashtag Santa Clarita and hashtag SCB, right? So then you will soon be popping up right here all the, well, that's incorrect. Clarita. You'll be coming up here all the time. Feel free to tweet things on your own sometimes. You don't need to always be handling it with this automatic thing, because you're going to look a little automated if you're doing that. So if you say like, I have an open house, let's just say whatever date, Saturday at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then you jump down, you throw down like an address, or you just, what would even be better is you just throw down your website and then like a / to like a link to whatever house you're listing. So website.com / listing, and then even better, always shortening links, right? So we go to bit.ly, which we talked about last time, but we'll talk about one more time. How to shorten links. We cannot post in here website.com / listing / whatever number it is. Like, so this is your real long link to to a listing on your website, right? We're going to take that, copy it, go over to bit.ly, paste the link, hit shorten, and then we're going to copy this link, go back into Twitter, and paste it. Now we just saved ourselves a bunch of room, and it looks nice and clean. I like to separate it by either like a tall bar or a colon or a dash, or even like a plus sign looks cool. So any of that'll work. And then at the end, what are we doing? We're putting hashtags. Hashtag Santa Clarita, hashtag SCV. Check this out. Hit tweet. So we just tweeted that. If I go into hashtag Santa Clarita, hit enter, go to live. Refresh. It will post here shortly. Obviously, this is slightly behind. We've got 19 minutes ago, so. But your tweet will show up right here momentarily. And let's see if there's anything else we should talk about. That's about as basic. That's about as much as you're going to need to know in terms of Twitter for like the secret. You know, the big secret is like, how do I post so often and how do I get followers? Yes, you can pay for followers. Why do we frown on paying for followers on Facebook? Because what it does is if we ever want to run ads later on a Facebook page and we've paid for a bunch of followers, well, one of the options, you get to choose what target you want to post an ad to. So let's say I come up with an ad and then I want to post it to like all my followers. Well, if half my followers are fake, I'm wasting half my money, right? But on Twitter, that's not going to be an issue for us. So you can purchase followers and the reason why it's not as bad on Twitter is because we're not running ads, and secondly, so we're not losing money from it. But the best time to add fake followers would be right in the beginning. You don't want to do it later. So what you want to do is you want to go to either Fiverr, or there's some other ones that you can go to, but you know, you go to Fiverr and you go to find services, you go Twitter followers. And sometimes these will like be on your account for a month and then they'll disappear, but that's just kind of the name of the game in this situation. But you can look through some of these and you will eventually find one that looks like somewhat trustworthy. I will, you know, Twitter, 10,000 followers. We do not want to do that many fake followers. I'm talking like 1,000, 2,000 tops, because eventually we're just going to weed those out with how many new followers we have. So you won't even see all those old fake followers. They're just there to give you like a little initial like credibility boost in the beginning. So you don't just have this account that has like 5 followers and you like keep retweeting and favoriting and stuff that people do, but they aren't following you back. It's because they don't find your account trustworthy because you don't have any followers. So, you know, which is, you know, pretty ironic. But that's going to be that. So that's followers. We've talked about scheduling. We've talked about where to find some trusted news sources. We will be having another class on what are some of the best places to find trusted news sources and how to gather content in like the most efficient way possible. So I hope that we've covered everything that we need to cover for today. I will be taking questions via email. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and email me. You know the email because that's how the invite was sent out. And yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.